Getting a look at it right there. Look at all the colors and all the patterns. We, of course, have Helen Austen Interior Designer here to share what Dopamine Decor is and why it's a great time to add it to your spaces. Helen, thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here.
Of course. Okay, so I told you, I did a deep dive into this. Yeah, because I had no idea what Dopamine Decor was. Explain to us what it is.
Okay, so Dopamine Decor is when we want to instill a sense of warmth and happiness through color, pattern, and decor. Okay. So in other words, we're moving away from, we were talking about the gray, you know, common houses that you see for sale, like new builds.
Yes.
We're moving back into color. Also just finding opportunities to bring in like moments of joy and just kind of levity, right? Yes. The unexpected. Why not?
Why not? And it's in the name, right? It's Dopamine Decor. It's supposed to just make you feel good.
It's a feel-good neurotransmitter, right? So it's just feel-good interiors,
and we got a picture on the screen right there of kind of what we're talking about.
This is a perfect example because we're mixing color and pattern, and there's fun decor. Like, it kind of meets it all. This is an entryway. Okay. So I will say, when we do bold wallpaper like that, which we can talk about in a second, also we want to make sure it's not probably in like your living room. It's really great for these, what I call secondary spaces. For sure. So you can have that bold effect without having to be in that intensity all the time.
For sure. Okay,
so there's ways to kind of do this throughout the house.
So what are the easiest ways to incorporate it into the spaces?
Yeah, just small items, really great ways. Sentimental decor is a big part of this too. And some of that has color and pattern. So like something you got on vacation or some type of china that is from your, family, you can have it filled with candles from the candle shop here in Brookside. And just bringing in pattern in different ways. So this can be really small, where you're kind of bringing in little pops of color and interest, and maybe things that are so important to you, things that make you feel good. Also art. I think art is really fun.
And I love the art that you brought too.
Yeah, so, the butterfly also is really fun, and it's just kind of whimsical, right? And it's colorful, it's nature. But then Lincoln. So if you know anything about Lincoln, he actually was well known for having a big sense of humor.
Really?
And so, so for someone who had a very serious job, and talk about living in serious times.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I love this because it's kind of just this lightheartedness. If Lincoln can be lighthearted, I can too.
Yes.
Right? So it's just kind of this levity and whimsical that you can bring into your home in little moments and little ways. It doesn't have to be a big one-room kind of deal. Yeah. It can really be in these kind of ways that are just unexpected and fun.
For sure. And that's just so much fun too. It makes you smile when you see it as well. So for a bigger impact, what do you recommend?
Wallpaper. So like we have in the image here, wallpaper makes such an impact, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this bold, but it can it's beautiful. And we are now getting into the world where it is so much easier to apply, it's easier to remove, so you're not going to upset anyone in the future. And then just make sure, go with color. Don't be afraid to actually paint with color. You don't have to stick with every shade of white that exists. Please don't go, no more gray. Yeah. Stay away from the gray. At least add some color, and it will really add so much to your spaces, and it will really add so much to your life. It brings so much energy and positivity when you bring in color and pattern.
Well, I asked you about that hero color idea too. Like, if you got a favorite color, would you recommend sort of somehow implementing that into what you're doing?
Of course, absolutely. Depending on what color it is, because it could either be the accent. So when you have really strong colors like pink or orange, right? So those are ways. I wouldn't say you could do a whole pink room, but I would hire a professional to do it.
Yes.
But there are ways to incorporate that. It can be an accent color, and you have these really fun moments. Or if it's more subtle, you can totally paint the walls. That's why actually green is really popular right now. Green is having its heyday. This kind of rich hunter green is really fabulous, and it looks great.
Well, it is also cool. Thank you so much, Helen, for showing us all this too. Like I said, did the deep dive. She brought us home. If you want more help, though, bringing more joy and beauty into your home, contact Helen today for your next design project. Visit her at the website, HelenAusten.com. That is Austin with an E. And schedule your complimentary discovery call today.